Laura, like this is you. So you're here to talk to us about art is your career. Art is my career, sorry.
Yeah.
So that's really exciting. Okay, so do you want to introduce yourself and tell us about art is my career first?
Yes, so I'm Laura Sanderson. So I've sort of got like two sides. So I'm co-owner and design director of a creative agency in York called Dog Eat Cog. We do branding, illustration, animation, and we use like this blended approach to merge print, digital, and motion for our clients. So we've got clients all across the world, BirdLife International, New Lines Magazine, Rainforest Alliance. Part of what we do is giving back to the community. We really believe that's key. So we get involved in community projects, we get involved in startup businesses. So we've sort of invested in things like restaurants, recording studios, grassroots community projects, which is where Art as My Career comes in. So I started Art as My Career in 2019, basically to encourage young people to pitch themselves in creative careers. We give free resources to schools, young people, parents, all around the creative industry, showcasing the hundreds of thousands of different job roles that there are.
It's amazing. It's absolutely fantastic. Guys, you have to go check it out. It's really important to show this to all of your students out there. Okay, so let's talk quickly about how broad art careers are. Okay, do you want to kick off?
God, massive. So there's literally, God, I would love to do a directory of all the roles, but I think it would take me my entire lifetime. But there's like illustration, graphic designers, printers, curators, producers, copywriters, poets, ceramicists, somebody makes all the mugs you drink out of. There's like this vast area, and it goes into anything like even like art therapy, so helping people with physical or mental health issues through creativity. Like there are so many ways you can use your creative hobby, hate that word, but to become a career. Think of everything around you, like when you watch TV, the amount of people that will be involved in making that TV program a reality is mind-blowing. Like the pens you write with, a product designer has designed that pen, then there's all the packaging that he's designing, there's how we market it, is how you sell it. Literally everything you come in contact with every day has touched the creative industry at some point.
Absolutely. Should we focus on a couple of those like big flagship like design or your graphic design, stuff like that, the big flagship careers that feed directly from, an art skill.
Yeah.
Should we talk about those? Do you want to explain what some of those might be that young
Yeah.
people consider?
So I studied graphic design. So the degrees tend to sort of be, or even the college courses tend to be quite broad. So graphic design can take you into so many different things. You can go into package design, you could go into branding, you could go into illustration. I think there's these overarching big terms that actually when you break them down, there are loads of different specialists within them. But graphic design is basically anything you see designed. A graphic designers tend to sort of work on, and then you can break that down into illustrators, printers, animators, so many different roles. But any sort of course you're doing creative can take you anywhere. You're not, I know some people who are working in graphics now who study fashion, and you sort of use the same technology and the same skills, so it's all transferable to wherever you want to go. And you might not just sort of figure out where you want to go until you're in it. And that's all right. Like, don't worry about that.
Absolutely. And that's a really good place, to like start your journey, maybe start investigating where that takes you, because so many students watching who do art, who are studying art, they will be thinking probably the only thing that I can do with this is become a fine artist. So that is so useful to know. You can feed that skill of art into so many different things that translate across all of the creative industries, really, not just the art world. Okay, so what are the things that young people who are at school can do right now to work towards any of the kind of careers in that feed into from art?
So I know young people are watching YouTube. You spend so much time on YouTube, so just Google like a tutorial and try. Like there are so many free tutorials out there. So for example, if you want to try animation, School of Motion is incredible. They do loads of free tutorials. Just try some stuff out. Like most design software, you can get a free trial for sort of 14, 30 days. Download it, try it, see what you think. And then just sort of try as many things as possible and go in and speak to businesses. So when I was 17, I walked into a printer's and I was like, can I just come for a couple of days and see what you do? And the stuff I learned there for a couple of days, I still use in my job now. Like it gave me so much knowledge that I know how the printing system works. And then you never know where that's going to take you. Like, yeah, pop in and speak to somebody. Like, imagine if you're playing a computer game and you could be the next person who designs the next Call of Duty, for example. Like, and you wouldn't know that. Like, just pop in and speak to people, Google as much as you can, and just try things out. You know, if you want to go into fashion, ask for a sewing machine for Christmas, start amending some of your clothes and see what you can make. And yeah, just trial it, trial and error.
Absolutely, absolutely. I love that. There are so many tangible things. And the internet is such a beautiful tool for exploring all of these different kind of career paths. You're right. Tutorials, TikTok as well. We know that lots of you are on TikTok for that short form content. Absolutely Google some of these. What can I do with art? On your TikTok account. But obviously check out Laura's Art is My Career. That's a good starting point, definitely. And what do you think are the biggest misconceptions around careers with art?
Definitely that is not a viable career. I think there's this idea of if you don't know what you want to do yet, go do art and then you can figure out what you want to do after. Like you can do art. Like art can be a career. It can fund your lifestyle depending on what the lifestyle is. The creative industry inputs so much revenue into the economy. It is mind blowing. I'm not sure where this misconception came that it's not a stable career. Whoever's telling you that is wrong, I promise. Yeah, and then I think the idea that you have to be a creative person. So Emily just touched on this. So the idea, like, if you can't draw, doesn't mean you can't work in the creative industry, doesn't mean you can't work in the arts. So like account managers who, so a role of an account manager is busy to manage a client. So they will liaise with the client, they'll get a brief, they'll manage budgets, deadlines. They might not necessarily be doing the actual creative work, but they're working in the creative industry. So if you appreciate art and you're really organized, there is a role for you in the creative industry. Yeah, so don't think if you can't draw a perfect portrait of somebody that this career isn't for you, because I promise you there will be a place for you somewhere. And then I think the other thing is that if you study one thing, that's the only thing you can go into. So Mark, who is our amazing animation wizard here at Doggy Cog, so he actually studied film and media, and he's one of the best animators I know. He's completely self-taught. He learned some transferable skills from his degree, and they gave him the fundamental skills to go in the right direction, and then he just self-taught himself. So don't think just because you have decided to go do fine art at college or degree that you have to stick to that. You can sidetrack anywhere you want to.
Absolutely great advice. Also, I'm a big fan of self-teaching. May and I, my business partner and I, had a videography business before we started Eric, totally self-taught. We didn't go study anything about videography. I literally learned it all off YouTube.
Yeah.
And I was great.
Yeah. Save yourself some money.
Exactly. And I don't have that much debt. It's so true. Yeah. That much. So, and also the other point that you said before about being able to actually just kind of choose the creative environment that you work in and not necessarily having to do like something, execute like an actual creative, in inverted commas, skill. Yeah. Like that is really interesting. That is, oh, hi guys. So we are joined by the panelists who are due to speak in 5 minutes. So sorry about that. Okay, so yes, absolutely. I love that you don't actually have to necessarily be doing a creative skill. You can just work in a creative environment, and that is, you know, wonderful to be around, and that is definitely enough for a lot of people. So totally something to recognize there. Okay, yes. So, and what do you think is the most underrated area or job in the art space to work in?
Oh, definitely probably those non-creative. I say non-creative, and that needs to be in inverted commas as well. But the things like the account managers, the office managers, you know, the people who keep things ticking over, like Emily mentioned as well, HR, finance. Like if we don't have people chasing our invoices, like businesses won't continue. So yeah, anything that isn't the sort of the hands-on creative but keeps businesses ticking over, I don't think that is sort of talked about enough.
Yeah.
That you know that HR finance can still be a creative role and is still having a huge impact on the creative industry by doing those roles.
100%. Completely agree with that. Absolutely. We all need an accountant. We all need a lawyer. We all need those things. Totally.
Yeah.
Organization, all of that. That's so important. And that's how businesses run, really.
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much for that. Okay, and finally, the final question in the last 3 minutes. How can schools and students use Art Is My Career right now to help them? Please tell us about what all the stuff that they can get their hands on.
So you can go to the website, artismycareer.org. There are loads of free resources on there. They're all available to download for anybody. Things that cover like an overview of the creative careers. There's things into what is being a freelancer, because you don't have to work for somebody. You can work for yourself. There's a more in-depth look at what careers there are. So we break down things like a magazine, all the roles that make that happen. We break down a computer game, all the roles that make that happen, and there are hundreds. We also have an agency directory, which at the moment is sort of Yorkshire based, but it will expand. But basically, we gather creative businesses who are open to having students in for work experience, and we gather them all in one place so you can download them and reach out to these businesses and get yourself some work experience, because that is so important for you to get a real feel for what these jobs are. Teachers and schools, all the resources come with lesson plans. They all fit into the curriculum. They all tick one, if not two or three, Gatsby benchmarks. You can literally slip them right into your week. You don't have to do anything. We've done it all for you. We've got some new stuff coming this year. So we've just got some new funding for a music career focus resource. So we're teaming up with EMI, who have just come to Leeds, and Young Thugs, which is a recording studio based in York, to create some interactive resources all about careers in the music industry. We have got an interactive careers game coming this year. So there'll be a physical game that you can get for your school. Whether you're a teacher or a student, you'll be able to access that. We'll send it all for free to your school so you can figure out all the careers that you can go into. There'll be new resources coming all the time, and they're completely free. So please, yeah, do have a look, keep in touch. If there's anything that you want, let us know, and we create all our resources based on all your feedback. So if there's something that you don't know about and you want to know, let us know, and we will do our best to create something.
That is amazing. Oh, Mike, I think you might need to mute yourself. So sorry. Laura, that is absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much. So many things there for school.
I
know. So you're gonna have to send me all of those links so that I can feed those to everyone who has signed up to this talk series, and also all of the people on our other mailing list, which is very exciting, for our weekly newsletter that goes out on a Thursday for anyone who hasn't signed up for it. But 100% we will get all of those links out to everyone, because there's so much there. Oh my God, that's so exciting. Thank you so much, Laura, for all of the stuff that you're doing. It's really needed. We absolutely love it. And yeah, everyone check out Art Is My Career. That's a great resource for everyone.